why does a family controlling such a massive fortune never appear on the Forbes list? The answer lies in an invisible empire woven together by financial leverage and privileged access to information. They act as informal advisors to central banks, the IMF, and the World Bank, wielding influence that remains largely hidden from public scrutiny. From influencing daily global gold prices via the London Gold Fix to maintaining a presence at the most secretive summits like the Bilderberg Group and the World Economic Forum. They hold no formal political office, yet they have been shaping the very fabric of the global market for over 250 years. This is how the Rothschilds are running your world. Meyer Amschel's transformation from a ghetto money changer to a global financier wasn't an overnight miracle. It was a calculated ascent through the corridors of power. While his early business involved rare coins, he quickly realized that the nobility were often cash poor despite their vast estates. Coins became his entry ticket into aristocratic circles, allowing him to discreetly provide quick cash for gambling debts and military expenses. The turning point came with Prince William Nair of Hesse-Kassel, one of Europe's wealthiest rulers who amassed a fortune by leasing mercenary soldiers. Meyer didn't just manage the prince's money. He pioneered a strategy we now call front-running. Using borrowed funds, Meyer would buy gold coins from the market first, then sell them back to the prince at an 8% commission. This relationship provided Meyer with invaluable lessons in international finance and, more importantly, the capital needed to send his 5 sons to Europe's major financial centers, effectively launching the world's first truly international banking network. They possessed the unparalleled power to make or break national currencies, to determine which countries could secure vital loans for military campaigns, and to subtly influence the outcomes of wars themselves through carefully calculated strategic lending decisions. However, the Rothschilds' influence often left a complicated and controversial mark on history. In 1833, Nathan Rothschild and the Baring brothers underwrote a massive $20 million loan for the British government, a sum equivalent to billions of dollars today. While this capital was essential to pass the Slavery Abolition Act, the reality was far from a simple act of philanthropy. The funds were used to compensate the slave owners for the loss of their property, rather than providing reparations to the enslaved themselves. This underscores a cold financial truth. For the Rothschilds, even the most significant social shifts in human history were, at their core, strategic lending decisions that prioritized the stability of the establishment and the accumulation of profit. European governments, regardless of their size or military might, found themselves increasingly reliant on Rothschild approval for any major financial undertaking. But here's the truly remarkable aspect of their ascent. They achieved this unprecedented level of power and influence without commanding armies, seizing territory, or holding any formal political office. They built an invisible empire, a web of financial connections and strategic holdings woven so tightly that it exerted immense control, based solely on the potent forces of financial leverage and privileged access to information. This potent combination allowed them to subtly manipulate markets, currencies, and even entire governments, all while remaining largely hidden from public scrutiny. The Rothschild family pioneered many of the techniques of international finance that are now commonplace, but which were genuinely revolutionary in the 18th and 19th centuries. Cross-border banking, sophisticated currency arbitrage, the trading of government bonds on a massive scale, and the complex operations of central banking. In essence, they invented modern international finance and then expertly leveraged their creation to accumulate unprecedented wealth and influence. Their information network was far more sophisticated and efficient than that of any government intelligence service of the time. Relying on a combination of carrier pigeons, cleverly coded messages, and a vast network of trusted agents strategically positioned throughout Europe. The Rothschilds often possessed crucial knowledge of political developments, impending military movements, and significant economic shifts, long before the governments that were directly involved. This invaluable information advantage allowed them to consistently profit from events, some of which they may have even helped to orchestrate. To truly understand how the Rothschilds built their invisible empire, it's essential to grasp the context of what Europe was like in 1744, the year Meyer Amschel Rothschild was born in Frankfurt's Jewish quarter. It was a fragmented continent, a patchwork of dozens of independent states, constantly at war with one another, burdened by primitive financial systems, and plagued by the systematic persecution of Jewish communities who were generally excluded from most legitimate professions and avenues of wealth creation. The Holy Roman Empire, once a dominant force, was rapidly disintegrating into a collection of hundreds of competing territories, ruled by princes, dukes, and electors who maintained their power through military force while perpetually lacking the financial resources necessary to adequately fund their armies, build essential infrastructure, or even maintain basic governmental administration. European monarchs faced a fundamental and seemingly intractable problem. They required constant access to vast sums of money to finance their frequent military campaigns, but they lacked any reliable methods for raising capital beyond the increasingly unpopular and unproductive taxation of already impoverished populations, or the risky and often counterproductive confiscation of property from wealthy merchants who could simply relocate their assets and businesses to competing territories. Banking, as it existed at the time, was primitive and fragmented, with most financial services being provided by Italian merchants, German traders, or Jewish moneylenders, who operated under severe legal restrictions that severely limited their activities, while simultaneously exposing them to the constant threat of arbitrary persecution and asset confiscation. International finance was, for all intents and purposes, non-existent, primarily because currency systems varied widely from territory to territory. Legal frameworks provided minimal protection for cross-border transactions, and communication systems were far too slow and unreliable to effectively coordinate complex financial operations across vast distances. However, these very limitations created extraordinary opportunities for anyone who could develop financial techniques that transcended local restrictions while providing desperately needed services to European rulers seeking to further their political and military ambitions. The Jewish community in Frankfurt existed under a particularly oppressive set of legal restrictions, which systematically excluded them from membership in most guilds, participation in virtually all legitimate professions, and engagement in most commercial activities. They were effectively confined to a cramped and squalid ghetto, where thousands of families were forced to live in conditions that would be considered utterly intolerable by modern standards. Religious and cultural traditions within Jewish communities strongly emphasized education, literacy, and the development of strong numerical skills, all of which were essential for achieving financial success. They also fostered the development of close-knit trust networks based on family relationships and shared religious obligations, which could support complex commercial arrangements across vast distances. Yet, paradoxically, these very restrictions also fostered a unique environment that was conducive to financial innovation. Jewish families were forced to develop specialized skills in currency exchange, international trade, and the provision of financial services, skills that were essential for their very survival in a hostile environment, as they were systematically excluded from traditional forms of wealth accumulation, such as land ownership or guild membership. Furthermore, Jewish communities, by necessity, maintained extensive international connections through their religious and family networks, which spanned numerous European territories. This provided them with access to vital information, established credit relationships, and unique commercial opportunities that were simply not available to Gentile merchants, who typically operated within the confines of a single political jurisdiction. Religious and cultural traditions within Jewish communities strongly emphasized education, literacy, and the development of strong numerical skills, all of which were essential for achieving financial success. They also fostered the development of close-knit trust networks based on family relationships and shared religious obligations, which could support complex commercial arrangements across vast distances. Mayer Amschel Rothschild's early life perfectly reflected both the severe constraints and the unique opportunities that characterized Jewish existence in 18th century Europe. Born into a family that operated a small money-changing business, he received a thorough traditional Jewish education, while simultaneously learning the essential commercial skills that were necessary for survival in a frequently hostile and discriminatory environment. The untimely death of his father when Mayer Amschel was just 13 years old forced him to become an apprentice at the banking house of Wolf Jakob Oppenheimer in Hanover. There, he gained invaluable first-hand experience in international finance while also developing crucial connections with members of the German nobility who relied on banking houses for the financial services that supported their political and military activities. This apprenticeship provided him with crucial insights into how European finance actually operated, while also revealing the enormous opportunities that were available to anyone who could reliably provide banking services to European rulers who were constantly struggling to fund their governmental and military expenses. Returning to Frankfurt in 1763, Mayer Amschel Rothschild began to cultivate financial relationships with local nobility while simultaneously developing expertise in rare coin trading, currency exchange, and international commercial finance, skills that would ultimately form the foundation for everything that his family would eventually accomplish. The prevailing political environment at the time was particularly conducive to innovation. The 7 Years' War, 1756-1763, had effectively bankrupted most European governments, while also demonstrating the crucial importance of reliable financing for achieving military success. Rulers who could readily access credit were far better positioned to maintain the armies that ensured their political survival. Economic development was accelerating throughout Europe as agricultural improvements, sustained population growth, and rapid technological innovation created vast new sources of wealth, which in turn created a growing need for sophisticated financial institutions to facilitate investment, provide protection for assets, and enable efficient international transfers of capital. Traditional banking institutions were simply inadequate to meet these emerging requirements. However, improvements in communication were beginning to enable the coordination of financial activities across greater distances, while still providing enormous advantages to anyone who could develop superior information networks for effectively tracking political developments and prevailing market conditions. Most importantly for our story, the pervasive anti-Semitism that existed throughout Europe created a peculiar situation in which Jewish families were simultaneously excluded from most legitimate professions and uniquely positioned to provide the very financial services that Gentile merchants either couldn't or wouldn't offer. The combination of systematic persecution and specialized skills created powerful incentives for Jewish families to develop financial techniques that were demonstrably more sophisticated, more reliable, and ultimately more profitable than anything that was available from traditional banking institutions. Mayer Amschel Rothschild's key strategic insight was recognizing that the political fragmentation of Europe created unparalleled opportunities for financial intermediaries who could operate effectively across political boundaries, while simultaneously providing services to multiple competing governments, rather than choosing sides in the seemingly endless series of European political conflicts. The Rothschilds strategically chose to develop financial relationships with all sides, profiting from the conflicts themselves, while simultaneously maintaining a carefully cultivated neutrality in conflicts where choosing the wrong side could easily result in asset confiscation, exile, or even execution. Rather than choosing sides in the seemingly endless series of European political conflicts, The Rothschilds strategically chose to develop financial relationships with all sides, profiting from the conflicts themselves through shrewd lending practices, sophisticated currency manipulation, and a highly effective information advantage that enabled them to benefit financially regardless of which side ultimately prevailed. This carefully calculated approach required extraordinary diplomatic skills, a sophisticated understanding of risk management, and the development of advanced financial techniques that could generate substantial profits while simultaneously maintaining a carefully cultivated neutrality in conflicts where choosing the wrong side could easily result in asset confiscation, exile, or even execution. However, these very limitations paradoxically fostered an environment that was uniquely conducive to the kind of financial innovation that Gentile merchants simply couldn't replicate: the legal restrictions that systematically excluded Jews from guilds, agriculture, and manufacturing, forced them to develop expertise in activities that required minimal physical assets, but maximum intellectual sophistication. Currency exchange, international trade, and the provision of financial services that could generate income primarily through knowledge and skill, rather than through the ownership of property. The relationship with Prince William provided Mayor Amschel with invaluable lessons in international finance, while also demonstrating the extraordinary profits that could be generated by financial intermediaries who could effectively serve the complex requirements of European ruling elites. The prince's business generated annual profits exceeding 600,000 florins, equivalent to tens of millions of dollars today. However, Mayor Amschel astutely recognized that serving individual nobles, however wealthy they might be, was ultimately limiting compared to the immense opportunities that existed in government finance, where entire countries needed access to reliable funding for military campaigns and essential governmental operations. Government finance offered a far greater scale and a level of security that private lending simply couldn't match. The American Revolution created unprecedented opportunities for government lending, as European powers required massive financing for their military operations, while colonial disruptions created significant currency fluctuations and commercial dislocations that enabled enormous profits for sophisticated financial intermediaries. Mayor Amschel began facilitating international financial transactions for Prince William, while also developing crucial connections with British banking houses, French financiers, and other key European money centers that could handle the scale and complexity of government finance during wartime conditions. The specialized skills he developed through serving Prince William, including currency arbitrage, international fund transfers, the trading of government bonds, and discrete wealth management, provided the essential foundation for everything that the Rothschild family would accomplish in the field of international finance over the centuries that followed. The family's strategy emphasized education and specialization, as Mayor Amschel personally trained his 5 sons in different aspects of international finance, while carefully maintaining a coordinated approach to complex transactions that required simultaneous operations in multiple European financial centers. Amschel Meyer, the eldest son, remained in Frankfurt to maintain relationships with German nobility and manage the family's Central European operations. His expertise focused primarily on currency exchange and commercial lending that served the various German states and Austrian territories. Salomon Mayer was strategically positioned in Vienna to develop relationships with Austrian governmental officials and members of the nobility who controlled the politics of Central Europe. Vienna's position as the Habsburg imperial capital provided access to governmental finance opportunities throughout the vast Austrian Empire. Nathan Meyer was sent to London to establish relationships with British banking institutions and governmental authorities who controlled global trade finance and international currency markets. London was rapidly emerging as Europe's dominant financial center, with unparalleled global commercial connections. Karl Mayer was positioned in Naples to develop relationships with Italian nobility and governmental authorities, while simultaneously managing Mediterranean trade finance. Naples provided access to key Italian commercial networks and connections with North African and Eastern Mediterranean markets. James Mayer was sent to Paris to develop relationships with French governmental authorities and banking institutions. Paris was the center of Europe's largest economy, providing access to continental European financial markets and lucrative governmental finance opportunities. This carefully planned Five Brothers strategy enabled coordinated international operations while also providing valuable local expertise in each of Europe's major financial centers. Close family coordination enabled them to execute complex transactions that required simultaneous operations across multiple jurisdictions and currency systems. Sophisticated communication systems were crucial for coordinating operations across vast distances. The Rothschild family developed highly effective courier networks, coded messaging systems, and advanced information gathering capabilities that often exceeded those available to most government intelligence services. This information advantage enabled them to execute highly profitable transactions through advanced knowledge of political developments, military outcomes, and economic changes that affected currency values, government bond prices, and various commercial opportunities. Information, in many cases, was even more valuable than capital for generating extraordinary profits. Religious and cultural traditions provided additional advantages for their international operations. Jewish communities throughout Europe maintained extensive connections that could facilitate commercial relationships. Traditional Jewish education emphasized numerical skills and legal analysis, both of which were essential for financial success, while carefully planned marriage strategies reinforced family unity, while also expanding business connections through the careful selection of spouses who brought additional commercial relationships, financial resources, or valuable political connections that enhanced the family's overall business capabilities. The prohibition against intermarriage with Gentiles, while limiting social integration, also provided a degree of protection against divided loyalties and external influences that might compromise carefully developed family business strategies or reveal confidential information to competitors. Their financial innovations included the development of sophisticated techniques for currency arbitrage that could generate substantial profits from even small exchange rate differences between various European monetary systems. Currency trading required a sophisticated understanding of the political and economic factors that influenced relative currency values. Government bond trading became increasingly important as European wars required massive government borrowing, which in turn created lucrative opportunities for bond dealers who could manage complex transactions while providing liquidity for government securities markets. International fund transfers enabled wealthy clients to move money discreetly between countries while avoiding excessive taxation, stringent currency controls, or various political restrictions that might limit wealth preservation and investment opportunities. Their risk management techniques included diversification strategies that spread investments across multiple currencies, countries, and asset classes, while also maintaining sufficient liquidity to enable a rapid response to changing political and economic conditions. Chapter 2. 5 Arrows. Nathan's initial operations primarily involved textile trading and commercial finance that served Manchester's expanding industrial economy, while also developing relationships with British merchants, established banking houses, and government officials who controlled international trade and currency policies. However, Nathan quickly recognized that commodity trading and commercial finance were ultimately limited compared to the vast opportunities that existed in government bonds and international currency exchange, opportunities that could generate enormous profits through superior information and carefully coordinated operations with his brother's extensive European networks. The Napoleonic Wars created unprecedented opportunities for government finance, as European powers required massive funding for their military campaigns, while significant currency fluctuations and persistent political disruptions created numerous arbitrage opportunities for sophisticated financial intermediaries. Nathan strategically established close relationships with British government officials who needed reliable financing for their ongoing military operations, while also developing an in-depth expertise in British government bonds, which represented the most sophisticated and liquid securities markets in all of Europe. British government finance required enormous capital mobilization to support massive military expenditures, while simultaneously maintaining confidence in government securities, which enabled continued borrowing to finance extended military campaigns against Napoleon's continental European empire. Nathan's highly effective information network provided him with crucial advantages in government bond trading through his advanced knowledge of military developments, political changes, and economic conditions that affected British government creditworthiness and the value of its bonds. The family's efficient courier system enabled Nathan to receive information from continental Europe days, or even weeks, before official government reports reached London, providing him with ample opportunities to execute profitable trades based on his advanced knowledge of events affecting government bond values. James Mayer Rothschild's establishment in Paris during the Napoleonic period required extraordinary diplomatic skills, primarily because French authorities were inherently suspicious of foreign financiers, while simultaneously needing financial services to support essential government operations and international commerce. James skillfully developed strong relationships with key French government officials and prominent banking institutions, while carefully maintaining his family's essential neutrality during conflicts between France and other European powers, where his brothers operated banking businesses. French government finance requirements included funding for Napoleon's ambitious military campaigns, while also managing currency stability and international trade relationships that were significantly disrupted by ongoing European warfare and the persistent British naval blockades. James's operations provided discrete financial services that served critical French governmental requirements, while also maintaining essential communication and coordination with his brother's operations in territories that were technically enemy jurisdictions during wartime. Karl Mayer Rothschild's position in Naples provided access to Italian financial markets, while also serving governmental authorities who needed funding for military operations and territorial administration during periods of frequent political change and recurring foreign occupation. Naples was strategically positioned for Mediterranean trade finance, while also providing access to Italian commercial networks that connected European markets with North African, Eastern Mediterranean, and other global commercial relationships. The persistent political fragmentation of Italy created lucrative opportunities for financial intermediaries who could operate effectively across territorial boundaries, while simultaneously serving multiple competing authorities who needed funding for governmental operations and various military activities. Karl's expertise in Mediterranean commerce enabled the family's operations to benefit significantly from the trade disruptions and currency fluctuations created by the Napoleonic Wars, while also maintaining critical commercial relationships that could continue regardless of the eventual political outcomes. Salomon Mayer Rothschild's position in Vienna provided access to Austrian government finance, while also serving Habsburg imperial authorities who controlled the politics of Central Europe and needed funding for military operations against Napoleon's expansionist ambitions. Vienna was the Habsburg imperial capital, with authority over vast territories spanning Central Europe, making Austrian government finance crucial for continental European political stability and the overall military coordination of efforts against French expansion. Austrian government bond trading required a sophisticated understanding of the Habsburgs' financial capabilities and their complex political objectives, while also managing the intricate currency relationships between the various Austrian territories and other European monetary systems. Salomon's operations enabled close family coordination with Austrian government policies, while also maintaining relationships that could subtly influence Habsburg decisions about military financing and political alliances during the ongoing European conflicts. Amschel Rothschild remained in Frankfurt to coordinate the family's overall operations, while also maintaining relationships with German nobility and the extensive commercial networks that connected Northern European financial markets with Mediterranean and Eastern European commerce. Frankfurt's position as a prominent German commercial center provided access to currency exchange and commercial finance that served multiple German states, while also maintaining close coordination between the family's various operations across all of Europe's key financial centers. The persistent political fragmentation of Germany created lucrative opportunities for financial services that could operate effectively across territorial boundaries, while also serving multiple competing authorities who needed funding for governmental operations and various military activities. Close family coordination required sophisticated communication systems that could maintain security, while also enabling the rapid transfer of vital information between family members operating in different political jurisdictions during wartime conditions. The communication network included highly reliable courier services, coded messaging systems, and a network of trusted agents who could provide valuable information about political developments, military movements, and prevailing market conditions that affected financial opportunities across European territories. Their information gathering capabilities often exceeded those available to most government intelligence services, providing them with crucial competitive advantages for currency trading, government bond speculation, and various investment decisions that required advanced knowledge of political and economic changes. Coded communication systems protected sensitive family business secrets while also enabling the seamless coordination of complex financial transactions that required simultaneous operations in multiple European financial centers with different currency systems and varying regulatory frameworks. This close financial coordination enabled arbitrage operations that could generate substantial profits from currency differences, interest rate variations, and government bond price discrepancies between various European markets, while also managing risks through diversification and hedging strategies. The family's unique ability to transfer funds quickly and discreetly between European financial centers provided valuable services that were simply unavailable from other banking institutions, while also enabling government and commercial clients to effectively manage their international financial requirements. Currency arbitrage operations generated substantial profits through their sophisticated understanding of the factors that influenced exchange rates between various European monetary systems, while also maintaining sufficient liquidity to enable a rapid response to changing market conditions. Government bond arbitrage enabled profitable trading through their advanced knowledge of the political and military developments that affected government creditworthiness. The Rothschilds' mastery extended beyond mere finance. They cultivated a sophisticated understanding of government securities markets. Their risk management strategies were multifaceted, encompassing diversification across a spectrum of currencies and national boundaries. This international approach was coupled with a strong sense of familial unity, ensuring mutual support during times of financial upheaval or political instability that might threaten individual family enterprises. The consolidation of 5 distinct banking entities into a cohesive international network forged a competitive advantage that allowed the Rothschilds to not only dominate European finance, but also to provide financial services that eclipsed those offered by purely national banking institutions. By 1815, the 5 Arrows strategy had firmly established the Rothschild family as the preeminent financial power in Europe, with operations strategically located in every major financial center and established relationships with all major European governments, irrespective of their political ideologies or military alliances. The network effects generated by their coordinated international operations facilitated complex financial transactions that demanded specialized expertise, substantial capital, and strong political connections, assets that were beyond the reach of competing banking institutions confined to single national jurisdictions. This allowed the family to wield considerable financial influence, capable of affecting European political relationships through strategic lending decisions, while simultaneously maintaining a position of neutrality that safeguarded their operations regardless of political outcomes or territorial changes resulting from European conflicts. The foundation laid through this 5 arrows expansion would propel the Rothschild family to unprecedented financial heights during the post-Napoleonic era, establishing precedents for international banking that continue to shape global financial institutions today. Nathan's initial operations primarily involved textile trading and commercial finance that served Manchester's expanding industrial economy, while also developing relationships with British merchants, established banking houses, and government officials who controlled international trade and currency policies. However, Nathan quickly recognized that commodity trading and commercial finance were ultimately limited compared to the vast opportunities that existed in government bonds and international currency exchange, opportunities that could generate enormous profits through superior information and carefully coordinated operations with his brother's extensive European networks. The Napoleonic Wars created unprecedented opportunities for government finance, as European powers required massive funding for their military campaigns, while significant currency fluctuations and persistent political disruptions created numerous arbitrage opportunities for sophisticated financial intermediaries. Nathan strategically established close relationships with British government officials who needed reliable financing for their ongoing military operations, while also developing an in-depth expertise in British government bonds, which represented the most sophisticated and liquid securities markets in all of Europe. British government finance required enormous capital mobilization to support massive military expenditures, while simultaneously maintaining confidence in government securities, which enabled continued borrowing to finance extended military campaigns against Napoleon's continental European empire. Nathan's highly effective information network provided him with crucial advantages in government bond trading through his advanced knowledge of military developments, political changes, and economic conditions that affected British government creditworthiness and the value of its bonds. The family's efficient courier system enabled Nathan to receive information from continental Europe days, or even weeks, before official government reports reached London, providing him with ample opportunities to execute profitable trades based on his advanced knowledge of events affecting government bond values. James Mayer Rothschild's establishment in Paris during the Napoleonic period required extraordinary diplomatic skills, primarily because French authorities were inherently suspicious of foreign financiers, while simultaneously needing financial services to support essential government operations and international commerce. James skillfully developed strong relationships with key French government officials and prominent banking institutions, while carefully maintaining his family's essential neutrality during conflicts between France and other European powers, where his brothers operated banking businesses. French government finance requirements included funding for Napoleon's ambitious military campaigns, while also managing currency stability and international trade relationships that were significantly disrupted by ongoing European warfare and the persistent British naval blockades. James's operations provided discrete financial services that served critical French governmental requirements, while also maintaining essential communication and coordination with his brother's operations in territories that were technically enemy jurisdictions during wartime. Karl Mayer Rothschild's position in Naples provided access to Italian financial markets, while also serving governmental authorities who needed funding for military operations and territorial administration during periods of frequent political change and recurring foreign occupation. Naples was strategically positioned for Mediterranean trade finance, while also providing access to Italian commercial networks that connected European markets with North African, Eastern Mediterranean, and other global commercial relationships. The persistent political fragmentation of Italy created lucrative opportunities for financial intermediaries who could operate effectively across territorial boundaries while simultaneously serving multiple competing authorities who needed funding for governmental operations and various military activities. Karl's expertise in Mediterranean commerce enabled the family's operations to benefit significantly from the trade disruptions and currency fluctuations created by the Napoleonic Wars, while also maintaining critical commercial relationships that could continue regardless of the eventual political outcomes. Salomon Mayer Rothschild's position in Vienna provided access to Austrian government finance, while also serving Habsburg imperial authorities who controlled the politics of Central Europe and needed funding for military operations against Napoleon's expansionist ambitions. Vienna was the Habsburg imperial capital, with authority over vast territories spanning Central Europe, making Austrian government finance crucial for continental European political stability and the overall military coordination of efforts against French expansion. Austrian government bond trading required a sophisticated understanding of the Habsburgs' financial capabilities and their complex political objectives, while also managing the intricate currency relationships between the various Austrian territories and other European monetary systems. Salomon's operations enabled close family coordination with Austrian government policies, while also maintaining relationships that could subtly influence Habsburg decisions about military financing and political alliances during the ongoing European conflicts. Amschel Mayer Rothschild remained in Frankfurt to coordinate the family's overall operations, while also maintaining relationships with German nobility and the extensive commercial networks that connected Northern European financial markets with Mediterranean and Eastern European commerce. Frankfurt's position as a prominent German commercial center provided access to currency exchange and commercial finance that served multiple German states, while also maintaining close coordination between the family's various operations across all of Europe's key financial centers. The persistent political fragmentation of Germany created lucrative opportunities for financial services that could operate effectively across territorial boundaries, while also serving multiple competing authorities who needed funding for governmental operations and various military activities. Close family coordination required sophisticated communication systems that could maintain security, while also enabling the rapid transfer of vital information between family members operating in different political jurisdictions during wartime conditions. The communication network included highly reliable courier services, coded messaging systems, and a network of trusted agents who could provide valuable information about political developments, military movements, and prevailing market conditions that affected financial opportunities across European territories. Their information gathering capabilities often exceeded those available to most government intelligence services, providing them with crucial competitive advantages for currency trading, government bond speculation, and various investment decisions that required advanced knowledge of political and economic changes. Coded communication systems protected sensitive family business secrets, while also enabling the seamless coordination of complex financial transactions that required simultaneous operations in multiple European financial centers with different currency systems and varying regulatory frameworks. This close financial coordination enabled arbitrage operations that could generate substantial profits from currency differences, interest rate variations, and government bond price discrepancies between various European markets, while also managing risks through diversification and hedging strategies. The family's unique ability to transfer funds quickly and discreetly between European financial centers provided valuable services that were simply unavailable from other banking institutions, while also enabling government and commercial clients to effectively manage their international financial requirements. Currency arbitrage operations generated substantial profits through their sophisticated understanding of the factors that influenced exchange rates between various European monetary systems, while also maintaining sufficient liquidity to enable a rapid response to changing market conditions. Government bond arbitrage enabled profitable trading through their advanced knowledge of the political and military developments that affected government creditworthiness. The Rothschilds' mastery extended beyond mere finance. They cultivated a sophisticated understanding of government securities markets. Their risk management strategies were multifaceted, encompassing diversification across a spectrum of currencies and national boundaries. This international approach was coupled with a strong sense of familial unity, ensuring mutual support during times of financial upheaval or political instability that might threaten individual family enterprises. The consolidation of 5 distinct banking entities into a cohesive international network forged a competitive advantage that allowed the Rothschilds to not only dominate European finance, but also to provide financial services that eclipsed those offered by purely national banking institutions. By 1815, the 5 Arrows strategy had firmly established the Rothschild family as the preeminent financial power in Europe, with operations strategically located in every major financial center and established relationships with all major European governments, irrespective of their political ideologies or military alliances. The network effects generated by their coordinated international operations facilitated complex financial transactions that demanded specialized expertise, substantial capital, and strong political connections. Assets that were beyond the reach of competing banking institutions, confined to single national jurisdictions. This allowed the family to wield considerable financial influence, capable of affecting European political relationships through strategic lending decisions, while simultaneously maintaining a position of neutrality that safeguarded their operations regardless of political outcomes or territorial changes resulting from European conflicts. The foundation laid through this 5 Arrows expansion would propel the Rothschild family to unprecedented financial heights during the post-Napoleonic era, establishing precedents for international banking that continue to shape global financial institutions today. The Battle of Waterloo, fought on June 18, 1815, stands as the quintessential example of how superior information networks enabled the Rothschild family to amass extraordinary profits. It also showcased their ability to skillfully manipulate financial markets through advanced knowledge of events that directly impacted government bond prices and currency values. Nathan Rothschild's information network had cultivated sophisticated systems for gathering intelligence concerning military developments, political shifts, and economic conditions throughout Europe, while simultaneously maintaining communication capabilities that surpassed those available to most government officials and military commanders. The family's private courier service relied on a combination of carrier pigeons, swift horses, and trusted agents who could traverse rapidly between European financial centers. These couriers carried coded messages that protected sensitive business secrets and facilitated the coordination of complex financial transactions. For the Waterloo campaign, Nathan established specific intelligence gathering operations designed to provide immediate notification of battle outcomes, enabling rapid financial transactions based on advanced knowledge of military results that would inevitably affect British government bond prices. The financial stakes were exceptionally high as British government bonds served as the bedrock of London's financial markets. A victory for Napoleon would have devastated British creditworthiness and currency stability, presenting both opportunities for massive profits and the risk of catastrophic losses, depending on investment positions. British government bonds, known as consols, were trading at depressed prices in the weeks leading up to Waterloo, fueled by investor fears of Napoleon's military capabilities. This uncertainty surrounding the battle's outcome created volatility that allowed for profitable speculation for anyone possessing reliable information. Nathan Rothschild had meticulously accumulated detailed intelligence regarding both British and French military capabilities, while also developing assessment capabilities that allowed for more accurate predictions of likely battle outcomes than were available to government officials or military commanders. On the morning of June 18, 1815, Nathan's intelligence network was strategically positioned to provide immediate notification of battle results, while his London trading operations were poised to execute massive financial transactions based on advanced knowledge of military outcomes. The battle commenced at approximately 11:30 a.m., with Napoleon launching attacks on Wellington's positions, while Prussian forces under Blücher moved to reinforce British troops. The outcome remained uncertain for much of the day, with both sides experiencing significant casualties and tactical advantages. Nathan's intelligence agents were strategically positioned near the battlefield with instructions to provide immediate notification of battle results, while fast couriers stood ready to carry information to London's financial markets before official government reports became available. By early evening, it became clear that Napoleon had suffered a decisive defeat, with French forces in retreat, while Wellington and Blücher maintained control of the battlefield. Napoleon's military power had been irrevocably broken, effectively eliminating the threat to British security. Nathan Rothschild received confirmation of Napoleon's defeat during the evening of June 18th, approximately 24 hours before official news reached London through government channels. For centuries, the most famous example of the Rothschilds' mastery over information was the Battle of Waterloo. As the legend goes, Nathan Rothschild used carrier pigeons to receive news of Napoleon's defeat 24 hours before the government. He allegedly appeared at the London Stock Exchange with a somber expression, selling bonds to trick others into a panic. However, history's darkest secret is that this dramatic market trick was actually a carefully crafted fiction, fabricated 30 years later by an anti-Semitic pamphlet. In reality, Nathan's true genius was a calculated long-term play. He bought government bonds and held them for 2 years, selling at the market peak in 1817 for a massive 40% profit, netting the equivalent of around $100 million today. This information advantage provided crucial time for financial transactions based on advanced knowledge. However, Nathan's response to the Waterloo information demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of market psychology and trading strategies that maximized profits through manipulation of other investors' expectations rather than simply acting on superior information. However, the Waterloo transaction also revealed the family's ability to profit from European political conflicts while maintaining neutrality that protected their operations, regardless of military outcomes or political changes resulting from warfare. The information advantages demonstrated at Waterloo were systematic rather than accidental, reflecting investment in intelligence gathering capabilities that provided competitive advantages for currency trading, government bond speculation, and commercial finance operations. Post-Waterloo Europe created unprecedented opportunities for international finance as political stability enabled expanded commercial activities, while government debt requirements provided opportunities for bond trading and lending operations. Nathan used Waterloo profits to expand operations throughout European financial markets, while establishing relationships with government officials who needed financing for post-war reconstruction and political reorganization. The British government's recognition of Nathan's financial capabilities led to informal consulting relationships that provided influence over British financial policies while creating opportunities for profitable transactions based on advanced knowledge of policy decisions. Nathan's success attracted other European governments who needed sophisticated financial services for debt management, currency stabilization, and international trade finance that required expertise in multiple European financial markets. The family coordination that had enabled Waterloo profits was expanded to serve government clients throughout Europe, while maintaining neutrality that enabled profitable relationships with all major European powers, regardless of their political alignments. Government bond trading became the foundation for Rothschild international operations, while providing influence over government policies through lending decisions and financial advice that affected national economic strategies. The precedent established through Waterloo speculation, using superior information to manipulate markets while generating extraordinary profits, became the template for Rothschild operations throughout European financial centers. Currency arbitrage operations were expanded, using information networks and coordination capabilities developed for government bond speculation, while providing additional revenue streams that complemented government finance operations. International fund transfer services enabled wealthy clients and government authorities to move money between European countries while avoiding currency controls and taxation systems that might limit financial flexibility. Commercial lending operations provided credit for international trade and industrial development while maintaining relationships with business leaders throughout Europe who needed sophisticated financial services for expanding commercial activities. The integration of information gathering, market manipulation, and coordinated international operations created competitive advantages that enabled the Rothschild family to dominate European finance while establishing precedents for international banking that continue influencing global financial institutions. By 1820, the Waterloo profits had been leveraged into financial operations that generated annual revenues exceeding those of most European governments while providing influence over economic policies that affected millions of people throughout the continent. The transformation from Frankfurt money changer to European financial power had been completed through systematic development of capabilities that enabled profitable exploitation of political conflicts while maintaining business relationships that transcended national boundaries and political alignments. Waterloo represented not just a military victory, but the emergence of financial power that could influence European politics through economic leverage while remaining largely invisible to public oversight or democratic control. The Rothschild family's mastery of government bond trading transformed them from successful international bankers into the unofficial Central Bank of Europe, with the power to determine which countries could fund their military operations, infrastructure projects, and governmental administration through access to international credit markets. Government bonds represented the perfect financial instrument for Rothschild operations because they combined massive scale, government guarantees, and international tradability while providing opportunities for market manipulation through superior information about political and economic conditions affecting government creditworthiness. The post-Napoleonic period created unprecedented demand for government borrowing as European powers needed financing for military expenses, war debt refinancing, and economic reconstruction, while establishing new political arrangements that required substantial governmental expenditures. Nathan Rothschild's London operations became the primary market for European government bonds through relationships with British investors who provided capital for international lending. While British legal frameworks protected bond trading operations from political interference, the British government bond market provided the template for international bond trading, while British investment institutions provided capital that could be deployed for foreign government lending through Rothschild coordination with continental European operations. Nathan's expertise in British government finance enabled evaluation of foreign government creditworthiness while providing comparative analysis that attracted British investors to foreign government bonds offering higher yields than domestic British securities. French government bonds became a major focus for Rothschild operations during the Restoration period, as the French government needed massive financing for war debt repayment while establishing political stability that could support economic recovery and international commercial relationships. James Rothschild's Paris operations provided direct access to French government officials while maintaining relationships with British and other European investors who could provide capital for French government borrowing through international bond placements. French government bond trading required sophisticated understanding of French political stability and economic capabilities, while managing currency risks that affected returns for international investors who purchased French bonds denominated in francs. The family's ability to coordinate French government bond sales in multiple European markets provided competitive advantages while enabling larger bond placements than were possible through purely French financial institutions. Austrian government bonds provided similar opportunities through Salomon Rothschild's Vienna operations, while serving Habsburg imperial financial requirements that affected multiple Central European territories, and required complex currency and political risk management. Austrian government finance was complicated by the empire's diverse territories with different economic conditions and political relationships, while requiring coordination between imperial authorities and regional governmental structures. The Rothschild family's ability to manage Austrian government bond placements in international markets provided crucial financing for Habsburg imperial operations, while generating substantial profits through bond trading and underwriting fees. Prussian government bonds represented additional opportunities through relationships with German banking institutions while serving Prussian governmental financial requirements that affected Northern European political and economic stability. Russian government bonds provided access to one of Europe's largest economies while serving Russian imperial financial requirements that affected Eastern European and Central Asian political relationships and commercial opportunities. Russian government finance required sophisticated understanding of Russian political and economic conditions while managing currency risks and political instability that affected investment returns for international bondholders. The coordination of government bond operations across multiple European markets enabled the Rothschild family to provide comprehensive international financing while maintaining competitive advantages through superior information and operational capabilities. Bond underwriting operations generated substantial fees while providing influence over government borrowing terms that affected national economic policies and international political relationships. The ability to determine borrowing terms for government bond placements enabled influence over government policies while creating opportunities for additional profitable transactions through advisory services and follow-up financing requirements. Government bond trading operations generated profits through market-making activities while providing liquidity for international investors who needed to buy or sell government securities for portfolio management and investment requirements. Secondary market operations in government bonds enabled profitable trading through superior information about political and economic conditions affecting government creditworthiness while providing services to investors who needed immediate liquidity for their government bond holdings. The development of international government bond markets created standardized financial instruments that could be traded across European financial centers while providing comparative investment opportunities that attracted capital from throughout Europe. Government bond portfolio management services attracted wealthy individual investors and institutional clients who needed sophisticated investment management for government securities while generating fee income that complemented bond trading profits. The family's reputation for government bond expertise attracted consulting relationships with government officials who needed advice about debt management strategies while providing advanced information about government borrowing plans that enabled profitable trading positions. Credit analysis capabilities enabled superior assessment of government creditworthiness while providing competitive advantages for bond pricing and investment decisions that affected returns for both Rothschild operations and their clients. Political risk assessment provided crucial evaluation capabilities for government bond investments while enabling superior understanding of factors that might affect government ability to service debt obligations and maintain bond values. Economic analysis capabilities enabled evaluation of government financial capacity while providing assessment of economic conditions that affected government revenues and debt service capabilities. Interest rate analysis provided understanding of factors affecting government bond values while enabling hedging strategies that protected against losses from interest rate changes that might reduce bond values. Currency risk management protected international government bond investments from exchange rate fluctuations while enabling currency hedging strategies that enhanced returns for investors purchasing foreign government bonds. The integration of government bond trading, underwriting, and portfolio management created comprehensive capabilities that served both government issuers and investor clients while generating multiple revenue streams from government bond operations. Information networks provided crucial advantages for government bond trading through advanced knowledge of political developments, economic changes, and policy decisions that affected government creditworthiness and bond values. Market manipulation techniques enabled profitable trading through sophisticated understanding of factors affecting investor psychology and market pricing, while maintaining legal protection for trading strategies that might be considered improper for less sophisticated operators. The scale of Rothschild government bond operations enabled market influence that could affect government borrowing costs while providing leverage over government policies through control of access to international credit markets. Government relationships developed through bond operations provided informal influence over economic policies while creating opportunities for additional profitable transactions through advisory services and preferential access to government financial business. By 1830, the Rothschild family controlled approximately 50% of European government bond trading, while providing financing that affected the policies of every major European power and many smaller governments throughout the continent. The government bond operations had transformed the family from successful international bankers into an invisible European financial authority with influence over government policies that affected millions of people while remaining largely free from democratic oversight or public accountability. The precedent established through government bond dominance, using financial leverage to influence government policies while maintaining private control over public financing, became the template for central banking and monetary policy that continues influencing international financial relationships today. The explosion of railway construction across Europe during the 1830s and 1840s created the largest infrastructure investment opportunity in human history. The Rothschild family strategically positioned themselves to control railway financing while demonstrating how financial power could reshape entire continents through systematic infrastructure investment. Railway development required unprecedented capital mobilization that exceeded the financial capabilities of individual governments, traditional banking institutions, or regional investment markets. Only international banking networks with access to multiple capital sources could provide financing for continental railway systems. The Rothschild families established relationships with government officials, international investors, and commercial banks throughout Europe, positioned them uniquely to coordinate railway financing while managing the complex political and financial relationships necessary for cross-border infrastructure projects. Nathan Rothschild's London operations provided access to British capital markets and engineering expertise. British industrial development had produced the most advanced railway technology and operational experience available for continental European railway construction, and British investors were eager for international investment opportunities that offered higher returns than domestic securities. Railway bonds provided government guarantees and infrastructure assets that appealed to conservative investors seeking secure, long-term investments. The family's government bond trading expertise provided crucial capabilities for railway financing. Because railway projects typically required government guarantees, subsidies, or regulatory approval that affected project viability and investment returns for international bondholders. James Rothschild's Paris operations became the center for French railway financing, while developing relationships with French government officials who controlled railway concessions and regulatory policies that determined project profitability and investment security. The Paris Saint-Germain Railway, completed in 1837, provided the first major demonstration of Rothschild railway financing capabilities while establishing operational precedents that influenced French railway development and international railway investment throughout Europe. French railway financing required coordination between government authorities, engineering contractors, and international investors while managing construction risks, political uncertainties, and currency fluctuations that affected project costs and investment returns. The success of French railway projects attracted additional railway investment opportunities throughout Europe, while establishing the Rothschild family's reputation for infrastructure financing that enabled access to major railway projects across the continent. Austrian railway financing through Salomon Rothschild's Vienna operations provided access to Central European railway opportunities while serving Habsburg imperial requirements for improved transportation infrastructure that could enhance military capabilities and commercial development. The Austrian railway system required coordination between imperial authorities and regional governmental structures while managing complex political relationships between different ethnic and religious communities within the Austrian Empire. Central European railway development created opportunities for extensive international trade while connecting previously isolated regions with European commercial networks that enhanced economic development and political integration throughout the Austrian territories. German railway financing provided additional opportunities through relationships with German banking institutions while serving multiple German states that needed railway connections for commercial development and political coordination. German political fragmentation created challenges for railway development because projects typically crossed multiple political jurisdictions with different regulatory frameworks, currency systems, and governmental authorities who needed coordination for successful project completion. The Rothschild family's ability to coordinate financing across multiple German states while managing complex political relationships provided competitive advantages that enabled systematic German railway development through integrated financing and construction management. Railway construction management provided additional revenue streams through partnerships with engineering contractors while ensuring project completions that protected Rothschild investment interests and maintained their reputation for successful infrastructure development. Construction financing required sophisticated cash flow management while coordinating payments to engineering contractors, equipment suppliers, and construction workers throughout multi-year projects that faced weather delays, political disruptions, and technical challenges. Quality control management ensured that railway construction met technical specifications while protecting investor interests through monitoring of construction progress and enforcement of contractual obligations for engineering contractors and equipment suppliers. Railway equipment financing provided additional business opportunities through relationships with British industrial manufacturers who produced locomotives, railway cars, and technical equipment necessary for railway operations. International trade opportunities expanded dramatically through railway development while creating demand for banking services, currency exchange, and commercial finance that complemented railway financing operations and enhanced overall profitability. Railway bond trading provided ongoing revenue streams through secondary market operations while enabling investor liquidity for railway securities and portfolio management services for institutional clients who held large railway bond portfolios. Portfolio diversification strategies enabled risk management for railway investments while spreading railway financing across multiple countries, railway systems, and construction projects that reduced exposure to individual project failures or political disruptions. Political risk management protected railway investments from government policy changes while maintaining relationships with government officials who controlled railway regulation and could affect project profitability through taxation, regulation, or competitive policy decisions. Currency risk management protected international railway investments from exchange rate fluctuations while enabling currency hedging strategies that enhanced returns for investors purchasing foreign railway bonds denominated in different European currencies. Railway operational consulting provided ongoing relationships with railway companies while generating consulting fees through advice about operational efficiency, route planning, and commercial strategies that maximized railway profitability and bond service capabilities. The integration of railway financing, construction management, and operational consulting created comprehensive capabilities that served railway development throughout Europe while generating multiple revenue streams from railway operations. Railway financing success enabled expansion into other infrastructure projects, including canal development, port facilities, mining operations, and industrial development that required similar financial capabilities and governmental relationships. Municipal bond financing provided opportunities for city infrastructure development while expanding Rothschild operations into local government finance, that required similar capabilities to national government bond operations, but with smaller scale and more localized political relationships. Industrial development financing provided opportunities for factory construction and equipment financing, while serving manufacturers who needed capital for industrial expansion that complemented railway development and enhanced commercial opportunities. Mining investment provided opportunities for natural resource development while generating raw materials necessary for railway construction and industrial development that created integrated business opportunities across multiple economic sectors. The coordination of railway financing with other infrastructure investments created synergistic business opportunities while enabling comprehensive economic development strategies that enhanced regional prosperity and political stability. By 1850, the Rothschild family controlled railway financing for the majority of European railway construction, while providing infrastructure financing that had reshaped continental transportation, commerce, and political relationships. Railway operations generated annual revenues exceeding $2 million, while providing ongoing income streams through bond interest payments, operational consulting fees, and secondary market trading that continued generating profits decades after initial construction completion. The railway empire demonstrated how financial power could transform entire continents through systematic infrastructure investment while establishing precedents. For infrastructure financing, a legacy that continues to shape international development projects, the Rothschilds' success in financing railways cemented their position as Europe's preeminent infrastructure financiers. This accomplishment armed them with capabilities that extended far beyond, enabling them to engage in other large-scale investment projects that demanded international capital mobilization and close relationships with governments. The establishment of central banks across Europe in the 19th century represented the apex of Rothschild financial influence. It was a system where the family wielded considerable influence over monetary policy, currency creation, and credit allocation, impacting entire national economies, all while maintaining private ownership of institutions that ostensibly served the public good. Central banking offered a masterfully designed mechanism for converting private financial power into governmental authority. These banks could dictate national monetary policies while remaining privately owned, thus shielding them from democratic scrutiny and political accountability. Central banking offered a masterfully designed mechanism for converting private financial power into governmental authority. These banks could dictate national monetary policies while remaining privately owned, thus shielding them from democratic scrutiny and political accountability. The Bank of England, though predating the Rothschilds, became intimately linked to their operations through government bond trading, granting them influence over British monetary policy and generating profits through privileged knowledge of policy decisions. Nathan Rothschild's rapport with Bank of England officials provided invaluable insights into British monetary policy. This allowed for seamless coordination between private Rothschild operations and official central bank policies, which consequently affected currency values and government bond prices. This coordination enabled Rothschild operations to capitalize on advanced knowledge of interest rate changes, currency interventions, and credit policies, while also providing unofficial counsel that shaped Bank of England decisions concerning monetary management. The Bank of France presented similar opportunities through James Rothschild's operations in Paris, affording influence over French monetary policy, which in turn affected continental European currency relationships and international trade finance. These central banking relationships provided early access to French monetary policy decisions, fostering coordination between Rothschild operations and official French currency management, which resonated across European financial markets and international investment returns. James Rothschild's unofficial advisory role with French governmental authorities provided influence over monetary policy decisions and spawned profitable trading opportunities derived from advanced knowledge of policy changes affecting currency values and bond prices. The Austrian National Bank offered yet another avenue for central banking influence through Salomon Rothschild's Vienna operations. This facilitated coordination with Habsburg imperial monetary policies, affecting Central European currency relationships and commercial finance. This influence offered advanced knowledge of imperial financial decisions and enabled coordination between Rothschild operations and official Austrian currency management, which influenced multinational Habsburg economic relationships. Central European monetary coordination demanded a sophisticated understanding of intricate currency relationships between Austrian territories, each with varying economic conditions and commercial requirements, while simultaneously maintaining imperial monetary unity. Prussian central banking relationships offered additional avenues for monetary policy influence, serving German governmental financial needs and enabling coordination with emerging German monetary unification efforts. German monetary policy influence necessitated coordination between numerous German states, each with its own currency systems and economic conditions, while navigating political relationships that impacted German commercial development and international trade. Russian central banking opportunities provided access to Eastern European monetary policy, serving Russian imperial financial needs across vast territories spanning Europe and Asia, each with diverse economic conditions. Russian monetary policy relationships demanded a sophisticated understanding of Russian political and economic landscapes, while managing currency risks associated with Russian territorial expansion and international political relationships. The coordination of central banking relationships across multiple European countries allowed for systematic influence over continental monetary policies, creating opportunities for currency arbitrage and government bond trading, which generated exceptional profits. Currency arbitrage operations were enhanced through central banking relationships, which provided advanced knowledge of monetary policy decisions, enabling profitable trading based on policy changes that impacted exchange rates between European currencies. Government bond trading was enhanced through central banking relationships that provided advanced knowledge of interest rate policies, enabling profitable speculation based on policy decisions affecting bond values and yield relationships. International monetary coordination allowed for influence over cross-currency relationships, opening doors for profitable trading through advanced knowledge of coordinated monetary policies that affected international trade and investment relationships. Central banking consulting services established unofficial advisory relationships with central bank officials, generating consulting fees through advice on monetary policy strategies that served both central bank objectives and Rothschild commercial interests. Monetary policy analysis capabilities enabled a superior understanding of factors affecting currency values and interest rates, offering competitive advantages for trading and investment decisions that demanded advanced knowledge of monetary policy changes. Economic research capabilities provided analysis of economic conditions that influenced monetary policy decisions, enabling superior forecasting of policy changes that affected currency values and bond prices. Financial market analysis provided understanding of market conditions that impacted monetary policy implementation, enabling superior trading strategies based on market psychology and institutional behavior patterns. Central bank operational consulting offered technical advice on monetary policy implementation, fostering consulting relationships that provided advanced knowledge of policy decisions and access to central bank officials. The development of international monetary coordination created opportunities for systematic influence over European monetary policies, enabling profitable exploitation of currency relationships and interest rate differentials between different national monetary systems. Gold standard operations offered additional central banking opportunities because gold standard maintenance required coordination between central banks, creating arbitrage opportunities for financial institutions with international operations and superior information. Gold trading operations enabled profitable speculation through advanced knowledge of central bank gold policies and provided arbitrage opportunities based on gold price differences between European financial centers and international gold markets. Silver trading operations provided similar opportunities through central bank silver policies, enabling profitable arbitrage based on bimetallic currency systems that created trading opportunities between gold and silver monetary standards. International monetary conferences offered opportunities for policy influence, providing advanced knowledge of monetary policy coordination between European central banks that affected currency relationships and international trade finance. Monetary policy lobbying provided influence over central bank decisions, all while maintaining private interests that could clash with public monetary policy objectives, but were protected through informal relationships and confidential advisory services. The integration of central banking relationships with private financial operations created potential conflicts between public monetary policy objectives and private profit opportunities, which were managed through maintaining confidentiality about advisory relationships. Central banking influence provided competitive advantages for private financial operations, raising moral hazard concerns where private institutions could benefit from advanced knowledge of public policy decisions that affected financial market conditions. By 1870, the Rothschild family had achieved significant influence over central banking policies throughout Europe, maintaining private financial operations that could benefit from advanced knowledge of monetary policy decisions and coordination with central bank operations. Central banking relationships served as the ultimate demonstration of how private financial power could influence public monetary policies while retaining private ownership of institutions and relationships that enabled profitable exploitation of governmental financial authority. This precedent, established through central banking influence using private financial relationships to shape public monetary policies while ensuring profit opportunities based on advanced policy knowledge, became the template for modern central banking relationships with private financial institutions. Modern central banking systems continue to reflect institutional arrangements developed during the 19th century, where private financial institutions maintain advisory relationships with central banks, while benefiting from policy coordination that may prioritize private interests over public monetary policy objectives. The central banking empire revealed how financial power could transcend democratic oversight, influencing governmental policies that affected millions through monetary decisions made by unelected officials serving private financial interests. The international gold standard, which dominated global finance from 1870 to 1914, represented the apex of Rothschild financial influence. Their control over global gold trading, central bank relationships, and international monetary coordination allowed them to effectively manage the world's currency system while generating enormous profits through gold arbitrage operations. Gold standard operations required unprecedented international coordination because currency values were directly tied to gold prices. International trade and investment required stable exchange rates, which could only be maintained through coordinated central bank policies and sophisticated gold trading operations. The Rothschild family's established relationships with European central banks provided critical advantages for gold standard management, while their international banking network enabled complex gold arbitrage operations that maintained currency stability while generating substantial trading profits. The London Gold Fix, established through Rothschild coordination, created standardized gold pricing that facilitated international trade and investment, while providing Rothschild operations with influence over daily gold price determination, which affected global currency relationships. Gold production was concentrated in relatively few locations during the 19th century, with major sources in South Africa, Russia, California, and Australia providing the global gold supply that determined international monetary stability and currency values for all gold standard countries. The family's investments in gold mining operations provided partial control over global gold supply while generating profits through both mining operations and advanced knowledge of production changes that affected gold prices and currency relationships. South African gold mining investments became particularly important after the discovery of major gold deposits in the Witwatersrand region during the 1880s, where Rothschild financing enabled large-scale mining operations that dramatically increased global gold production. Gold refining operations provided additional control over gold supply and enabled quality standardization, which facilitated international gold trading and central bank operations that required consistent gold purity for monetary reserve management. London became the center for international gold trading through Rothschild operations, which provided market-making services for central banks, commercial banks, and international investors who needed gold trading capabilities for monetary and investment purposes. The London Gold Fix, established through Rothschild coordination, created standardized gold pricing that facilitated international trade and investment while providing Rothschild operations with influence over daily gold price determination, which affected global currency relationships. Gold arbitrage operations generated substantial profits through sophisticated understanding of factors affecting gold supply and demand, enabling exploitation of gold price differences between international markets that required rapid execution and superior information. Central bank gold operations required coordination between multiple national monetary authorities while managing gold reserve requirements that maintained currency stability and international confidence in gold standard currency convertibility. The Bank of England's gold operations were coordinated with Rothschild gold trading, maintaining British currency stability that anchored the international gold standard and provided a foundation for global trade and investment relationships. French central bank gold operations required coordination with Rothschild Paris operations while managing French currency relationships within the international gold standard system, which affected continental European monetary stability. German central bank gold operations became increasingly important after German monetary unification during the 1870s created the German Empire with a gold standard currency that required sophisticated gold reserve management for monetary stability. Austrian central bank gold operations required coordination between Habsburg imperial monetary policies and gold standard requirements while managing complex currency relationships within the multinational Austrian Empire. Russian central bank gold operations were complicated by Russian gold production and currency instability, requiring coordination with international gold markets that affected Russian economic development and international trade relationships. International gold shipments required sophisticated logistics coordination and management of security risks associated with transporting valuable gold cargoes between international financial centers and central bank facilities. Gold storage operations provided secure facilities for central bank reserves, generating storage fees and enabling loans secured by gold collateral that enhanced profitability while serving central bank operational requirements. Gold lending operations provided liquidity for central banks and commercial institutions, generating interest income through gold loans secured by gold collateral and supporting international monetary operations. The coordination of gold standard operations across multiple countries demanded a sophisticated understanding of international monetary relationships, enabling profitable exploitation of currency arbitrage opportunities created by gold standard maintenance requirements. Currency arbitrage operations were enhanced through gold standard relationships that provided advanced knowledge of central bank gold policies, enabling profitable trading based on gold flows that affected exchange rates between gold standard currencies. International trade finance was facilitated through gold standard stability, which reduced currency risks and enabled long-term commercial relationships that required predictable exchange rates for international business planning and investment decisions. Investment flows were enhanced through gold standard stability, which reduced currency uncertainties and enabled international investment relationships that contributed to global economic development and commercial expansion. Gold standard maintenance required periodic international monetary conferences that provided opportunities for policy coordination, enabling Rothschild influence over international monetary policies through advisory relationships with central bank officials. Monetary policy coordination enabled systematic influence over international gold standard operations, providing opportunities for profitable trading through advanced knowledge of coordinated policies that affected gold flows and currency relationships. The breakdown of international monetary coordination during financial crises created opportunities for profitable speculation, demonstrating the vulnerabilities of gold standard systems that depended on international cooperation and coordinated central bank policies. Financial crisis management during gold standard periods required coordination between central banks and private financial institutions, creating opportunities for profitable intervention through gold trading and lending operations that stabilized monetary systems. The Bank of England's role as gold standard anchor required coordination with Rothschild operations while maintaining British monetary leadership, which influenced international gold standard stability and global currency relationships. International monetary leadership provided Britain with economic advantages while creating dependencies for other countries that relied on British monetary stability for their own currency management and international trade relationships. Colonial monetary systems were integrated into gold standard operations through British imperial relationships, providing opportunities for profitable exploitation of colonial gold production and monetary management. Imperial monetary coordination enabled systematic exploitation of colonial economies, maintaining metropolitan control over colonial monetary policies that affected resource extraction and commercial relationships. The integration of gold mining, gold trading, and central banking relationships created comprehensive control over international monetary systems, generating multiple revenue streams from gold standard operations. By 1900, the Rothschild family exercised significant influence over international gold standard operations, maintaining private ownership of institutions and relationships that enabled profitable exploitation of global monetary systems. Gold's standard influence demonstrated how private financial power could control international monetary policies while maintaining profit opportunities that might conflict with public interests in monetary stability. The gold standard period represented the apex of Rothschild financial influence, when private financial relationships could effectively control international monetary systems, while remaining largely free from democratic oversight or public accountability. The eventual collapse of the gold standard during World War I marked the end of an era when private financial institutions could exercise direct control over international monetary policies while maintaining profit opportunities that transcended national governmental authority. The financing of European wars during the 19th and early 20th centuries provided the Rothschild family with their most profitable and controversial business opportunities. They developed the practice of lending to multiple sides in military conflicts, ensuring that war outcomes served their financial interests regardless of which nations achieved victory. War financing represented the ultimate expression of Rothschild financial power, as military conflicts required massive capital mobilization that exceeded the capabilities of individual governments, creating opportunities for financial institutions that could provide international credit and currency services. The Crimean War, 1853 to 1856, provided the first major demonstration of systematic war financing through coordinated Rothschild operations that served both British and French military requirements while maintaining profitable relationships with Russian financial institutions. British war financing required massive government borrowing to fund military expeditions, equipment procurement, and naval operations, while maintaining domestic economic stability during extended military campaigns that strained governmental financial resources. Nathan Rothschild's London operations provided crucial war financing through government bond underwriting and syndicated lending, coordinating with continental European Rothschild banks that could provide additional capital and international financial services. French war financing required similar capital mobilization while coordinating French and British military objectives that necessitated unprecedented international financial cooperation between traditionally competing European powers. James Rothschild's Paris operations provided French war financing, maintaining coordination with British Rothschild operations that enabled integrated financial support for Allied military operations against Russian forces. The coordination of British and French war financing demonstrated Rothschild capabilities for managing complex international financial relationships, serving multiple governments that required coordinated military and financial strategies. Russian financial relationships were maintained through discrete channels that provided financial services to Russian governmental and commercial institutions, avoiding obvious conflicts with British and French military financing operations. The ability to maintain profitable relationships with all sides during military conflicts demonstrated Rothschild neutrality, protecting their operations while maximizing financial opportunities regardless of military outcomes or political changes. The Franco-Prussian War, 1870 to 1871, provided additional opportunities for war financing, demonstrating how military conflicts created financial opportunities that could surpass the economic value of peaceful commercial relationships. French war financing requirements included immediate funding for military mobilization, while managing currency stability and international trade relationships disrupted by Prussian military advances and siege operations. Prussian war financing was provided through German banking relationships, coordinating with Rothschild operations that could provide international financial services and currency management that enhanced Prussian military capabilities. The Siege of Paris created extraordinary financial challenges that demanded innovative financial techniques for maintaining governmental operations and civilian supply systems during extended military occupation and economic disruption. French government bond trading during the war provided opportunities for profitable speculation through advanced knowledge of military developments, enabling arbitrage operations based on market psychology and investor fears. Post-war French reparations, payments to Germany created massive international financial transfer requirements managed through Rothschild operations, generating substantial fees for international money transfer and currency conversion services. The German reparations provided capital for German economic development, creating financial relationships that enhanced Rothschild operations in German financial markets and enabled expanded business opportunities. Austrian military financing was provided during various conflicts through Salomon Rothschild's Vienna operations, serving Habsburg imperial military requirements that affected multiple European territorial and political relationships. Italian unification wars required sophisticated financial management, serving multiple Italian states and foreign powers that supported or opposed Italian territorial consolidation and political reorganization. Military equipment financing provided additional revenue streams through relationships with arms manufacturers, enabling credit arrangements that facilitated weapons procurement for multiple governments and military organizations. International arms trade financing required discrete arrangements that could serve competing military powers while maintaining legal protection and operational security for financial institutions involved in weapons procurement and distribution. Naval financing became increasingly important during periods of naval competition between European powers, requiring specialized knowledge of shipbuilding costs, naval technology, and maritime strategic requirements. Military infrastructure financing included fortifications, transportation systems, and communication networks that required long-term capital commitments, serving governmental strategic objectives and enhancing national military capabilities. War bond trading provided opportunities for profitable speculation during military conflicts, enabling risk management for investors who needed liquidity for government securities issued to fund military operations. Currency speculation during wartime enabled profits through advanced knowledge of military developments that affected exchange rates, providing hedging services for international investors and commercial institutions. International trade disruption created opportunities for alternative trade financing, enabling profitable exploitation of commercial dislocations caused by military conflicts and territorial changes. Reconstruction financing provided opportunities for post-war economic development, serving governmental requirements for infrastructure rebuilding and economic recovery following military destruction. Colonial military financing extended war financing opportunities to imperial conflicts, serving European powers that required funding for military operations in Africa, Asia, and other colonial territories. Imperial expansion financing provided capital for territorial acquisition, serving European powers that needed funding for colonial administration and military operations that established and maintained overseas empires. The integration of military financings with peacetime financial operations enabled systematic exploitation of international conflicts, maintaining business relationships that could serve both military and civilian governmental requirements. Intelligence operations provided advanced knowledge of military planning, enabling profitable trading based on military developments that affected government bond prices, currency values, and commodity markets. Diplomatic relationships provided influence over peace negotiations, enabling favorable financial arrangements for post-war reconstruction and reparations that enhanced profitability and created ongoing business opportunities. The development of international military financing created precedents for systematic exploitation of international conflicts, establishing financial institutions that could profit from warfare regardless of military outcomes or human costs. War profiteering through financial services demonstrated how systematic exploitation of international conflicts could generate extraordinary profits while maintaining legal protection and social respectability for financial institutions. By 1914, the Rothschild family had achieved systematic capabilities for war financing that enabled profitable exploitation of international military conflicts, maintaining relationships with all major European powers, regardless of their military or political alignments. World War I provided the ultimate test of war financing capabilities, creating financial opportunities that exceeded anything previously experienced in international conflicts and establishing precedents for modern military, industrial financial relationships. The scale and duration of World War I financing requirements demonstrated how military conflicts had evolved into total economic warfare that required comprehensive financial mobilization exceeding the capabilities of individual national governments. War financing operations established precedents for systematic exploitation of international conflicts, creating financial institutions and relationships that continue influencing military financing and international conflict profiteering today. Rothschild & Co. West, the family's primary banking institution, operates in major financial centers worldwide, providing investment banking, wealth management, and advisory services to governments, multinational corporations, and ultra-wealthy families who require sophisticated financial services. Investment banking operations include merger and acquisition advisory services, capital markets activities, and corporate finance that serves multinational corporations and sovereign governments, generating substantial fee income through complex international transactions. Wealth management services attract ultra-high net worth families and institutional clients, providing discretionary investment management, family office services, and estate planning that emphasizes privacy and long-term wealth preservation strategies. Government advisory services continue the family's traditional relationships with sovereign authorities, providing debt management, privatization advisory, and economic policy consultation that influences national economic strategies and international financial relationships. The family's wine operations through Baron Philippe de Rothschild and Chateau Lafite. Rothschild represent legitimate business interests while providing social connections and cultural influence that complement financial operations and enhance family prestige. The Edmond de Rothschild Group distinguishes itself as an independent banking entity, offering a suite of bespoke services encompassing private banking, asset management, and corporate advisory. Rooted in family ownership, the group prioritizes discretionary investment management, catering to the complex financial needs of affluent international clientele. Real estate investments target premier properties in global hubs, providing a dual benefit of portfolio diversification and long-term wealth preservation. These holdings seamlessly integrate with the group's financial services, generating steady rental income streams from both commercial and residential properties, thereby enhancing overall financial stability. Natural resource investments span mining operations, energy projects, and agricultural ventures, offering strategic exposure to commodity markets and natural resource development. These investments are designed to generate returns that operate independently of the fluctuations of financial market conditions, providing a hedge against economic uncertainties. Venture capital and private equity initiatives focus on providing crucial early and stage financing for technology innovators and burgeoning growth businesses. Beyond generating investment returns through equity participation, these endeavors offer invaluable access to pioneering technological advancements, positioning the group at the forefront of innovation. Philanthropic endeavors, channeled through the Rothschild foundations, aim to create a tangible social impact. These activities not only foster positive public relations but also unlock significant tax advantages that complement the group's commercial operations, reinforcing the family's esteemed reputation for social responsibility. Central banking relationships continue to shape monetary policy through astute advisory services and insightful policy consultation. This close involvement provides the group with advanced intelligence regarding policy decisions, influencing financial markets, and unveiling unique investment opportunities. Think tank relationships provide platforms for policy influence while enabling participation in policy development through research institutions, through the World Economic Forum, Bilderberg Group, and other elite gatherings that influence international policy coordination. The Bank for International Settlements, BIS, maintains enduring connections with Rothschild operations, built on a foundation of historical relationships and ongoing advisory services. This collaboration plays a critical role in coordinating international monetary policies, fostering global financial stability, and navigating intricate currency relationships. Relationships with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, ensure significant influence over global economic policies, enabling the provision of expert advisory services for sovereign debt management and economic development programs that impact international financial markets. Alliances with the World Bank facilitate influence over development financing, creating pathways for participation in international development projects and infrastructure financing. These ventures not only generate returns, but also contribute to achieving crucial development objectives. The group's forays into cryptocurrency and digital asset operations represent a forward-looking approach to financial innovation, enabling active participation in emerging financial technologies that hold the potential to reshape international monetary systems and financial services delivery. Strategic fintech investments offer exposure to groundbreaking financial technology innovations, providing early access to technological developments that can revolutionize traditional financial services and unlock new avenues for revenue generation. A commitment to environmental, social, and governance, ESG, investing demonstrates a dedication to sustainable investment practices, addressing contemporary social expectations and adhering to evolving regulatory requirements that govern institutional investment and corporate finance. Blockchain technology applications unlock opportunities for financial innovation, enabling the development of novel financial products and services that enhance transaction efficiency and security for international financial operations. Strategic regulatory arbitrage capitalizes on positioning across multiple jurisdictions, optimizing regulatory treatment for diverse financial activities and accessing favorable regulatory environments. tax optimization strategies leverage international tax planning, minimizing tax obligations through sophisticated international structures that take advantage of different national tax systems and international tax treaties. Family office services ensure seamless wealth management across generations, providing comprehensive financial services that preserve family wealth and facilitate succession planning, maintaining family control over business operations. Succession planning safeguards continued family control, preparing younger generations for leadership responsibilities and fostering family unity, enabling coordinated strategic decision-making across multiple business operations. Privacy protection strategies maintain family discretion, avoiding public attention that might compromise business operations or attract unwanted regulatory oversight that could restrict operational flexibility. Information networks continue to provide competitive advantages, enabling advanced knowledge of political and economic developments that affect investment opportunities and risk management for financial operations. Political relationships enable influence over policy decisions, providing access to government officials who control regulatory policies and economic decisions that affect financial markets and business opportunities. International relationship management maintains global business networks, enabling coordination of financial operations across multiple jurisdictions and regulatory environments that provide business opportunities and risk diversification. The integration of traditional financial services with contemporary technological innovations ensures continued competitive advantages, adapting to changing market conditions and regulatory requirements that affect international financial operations. Modern portfolio management utilizes advanced analytics and AI, maintaining traditional investment principles that emphasize long-term value creation and risk management, preserving family wealth across market cycles. Risk management capabilities employ sophisticated modeling and hedging strategies, maintaining conservative investment principles that protect family wealth from market volatility and economic disruptions that could threaten accumulated assets. Global economic influence continues through financial institution ownership and advisory relationships, maintaining the family's traditional role in international monetary system management and economic policy coordination. Contemporary Rothschild operations represent the evolution of traditional international banking into modern financial services, maintaining family control and discretionary management that preserves competitive advantages developed over centuries of financial innovation. The investment banking division specializes in merger and acquisition advisory, capital markets transactions, and restructuring services for multinational corporations and sovereign governments. Recent transactions include advising on the $85 billion merger between Anheuser, Busch InBev, and SAB Miller, demonstrating continued influence over major corporate reorganizations that reshape entire industries. Private wealth management operations serve approximately 2,800 ultra-high net worth families worldwide, with minimum account sizes typically exceeding $10 million. These clients include European royalty, industrial dynasties, technology entrepreneurs, and political leaders who require discretionary wealth management, emphasizing privacy and long-term wealth preservation. Asset management operations oversee specialized investment funds that focus on alternative investments, natural resources, and private equity opportunities not available through traditional financial institutions. These funds provide institutional investors and wealthy families with access to investment opportunities that require specialized expertise and relationship access. Merchant banking operations provide principal investment capabilities where Rothschild & Co. invests its own capital alongside client funds in private equity, real estate, and venture capital opportunities. This approach aligns Rothschild interests with client objectives while providing additional revenue streams through investment appreciation. Beyond finance, the family's political reach helped shape the map of the modern Middle East. In 1917, the historic Balfour Declaration stating British support for a Jewish homeland, was addressed directly to Lord Walter Rothschild. The family's commitment to this cause is still visible today, as they funded the construction of Israel's Knesset, Parliament, and the Supreme Court building. These engagements demonstrate continued influence over major governmental policy decisions affecting millions of people. Sovereign debt advisory services help governments manage their borrowing requirements, optimizing debt structures, and accessing international capital markets. This expertise provides governments with sophisticated financial capabilities while ensuring Rothschild involvement in major sovereign financing decisions. Privatization advisory services assist governments in converting state-owned enterprises into private companies through initial public offerings or private sales. These transactions generate substantial fees while providing Rothschild institutions with opportunities to acquire valuable assets during privatization processes. Central bank relationships continue providing informal advisory services to monetary authorities, maintaining the traditional Rothschild role in international monetary policy coordination. These relationships provide advanced insights into monetary policy decisions while enabling influence over central bank policies through unofficial consultation. The Bank for International Settlements maintains historical connections with Rothschild operations through advisory relationships and policy consultation that influences international monetary coordination between central banks. These relationships provide access to global monetary policy decisions while maintaining traditional central banking influence. International Monetary Fund, IMF, relationships enable influence over global economic policies through advisory services and policy consultation that affects international development programs and sovereign debt management. These relationships provide opportunities for influence over policies affecting developing countries and emerging markets. Rothschild venture capital operations have evolved to encompass fintech, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and other emerging sectors that could reshape international finance. These investments provide early access to technological innovations while generating returns through equity participation in growth companies. Fintech investments include stakes in digital payment platforms, robo-advisory services, and cryptocurrency exchanges that represent the future of financial services delivery. These investments position Rothschild operations to benefit from technological disruption while maintaining competitive advantages in traditional financial services. Blockchain technology investments focus on applications that could enhance international financial transactions, improve settlement systems, and create new financial products. These investments provide exposure to potentially revolutionary technologies while enabling influence over their development and implementation. Artificial intelligence applications are being integrated into Rothschild investment management operations to enhance portfolio analysis, risk management, and client service delivery. AI capabilities provide competitive advantages while improving operational efficiency and investment decision-making processes. Cybersecurity investments protect Rothschild operations from technological threats while providing investment opportunities in companies developing security solutions for financial institutions. These investments address operational risks while generating returns from growing cybersecurity market demand. Digital asset management services provide sophisticated investment capabilities for cryptocurrencies and digital assets, serving clients who require professional management of alternative investment portfolios. These services address emerging client requirements while generating new revenue streams. Environmental, social, and governance (ESG) investing represents a significant focus for contemporary Rothschild operations. As institutional investors increasingly demand sustainable investment options that address climate change and social impact objectives while generating competitive financial returns. Climate finance operations provide financing for renewable energy projects, carbon reduction initiatives, and sustainable development programs while generating investment returns through exposure to rapidly growing environmental markets. These investments address regulatory requirements while positioning Rothschild operations for future market opportunities. Green bond underwriting services help governments and corporations raise capital for environmental projects, providing Rothschild institutions with opportunities to participate in rapidly growing sustainable finance markets. Green bonds represent one of the fastest growing segments of international debt markets. Natural capital investments focus on sustainable agriculture, water resources, and biodiversity conservation projects that generate financial returns while providing environmental benefits. These investments demonstrate commitment to sustainable development while accessing investment opportunities in natural resource sectors. Social impact investing provides capital for projects addressing education, healthcare, and economic development in underserved communities while generating financial returns through social impact bonds and development finance instruments. These investments demonstrate corporate social responsibility while accessing new investment markets. Sustainable infrastructure financing provides capital for transportation, energy, and communication projects that meet environmental and social standards while generating long-term investment returns. Infrastructure investments provide portfolio diversification while addressing global development requirements. Environmental risk assessment capabilities help clients evaluate climate-related risks affecting their investment portfolios while developing strategies for climate adaptation and mitigation that protect investment values from environmental disruption. Contemporary Rothschild influence operates through sophisticated relationship management with political leaders, policymakers, and international institutions, while maintaining the traditional emphasis on discretion and unofficial advisory relationships that avoid public accountability. Political relationship management maintains connections with elected officials and policymakers throughout Europe, North America, and emerging markets while providing policy insights and maintaining influence over regulatory decisions affecting financial services and international commerce. Diplomatic relationships provide access to ambassadors, trade representatives, and international negotiators while enabling influence over trade policies, regulatory frameworks, and international agreements affecting global financial markets and investment opportunities. Think tank relationships provide platforms for policy influence while enabling participation in policy development through research institutions and academic organizations that influence governmental policy decisions. These relationships provide intellectual credibility while maintaining policy influence. International conference participation enables relationship development with global political and business leaders while providing platforms for policy influence through the World Economic Forum, Bilderberg Group, and other elite gatherings that influence international policy coordination. Media relationships manage public perception while maintaining the traditional Rothschild emphasis on privacy and discretion that protects business operations from unwanted public attention or regulatory scrutiny that might limit operational flexibility. Academic relationships provide intellectual credibility while enabling influence over economic research and policy development through university endowments, research grants, and academic partnerships that influence economic thought and policy recommendations. Family office services have expanded to serve multiple generations of ultra-wealthy families, providing comprehensive wealth management that encompasses investment management, estate planning, tax optimization, and succession planning for complex international wealth structures. Multi-generational wealth planning addresses the challenges of preserving wealth across generations while maintaining family unity and preparing younger family members for wealth stewardship responsibilities. These services are particularly valuable for families who have accumulated substantial wealth and need sophisticated succession planning. International tax optimization utilizes complex international structures and tax treaty advantages while minimizing tax obligations through sophisticated planning that takes advantage of different national tax systems and regulatory environments. Tax optimization generates significant value for wealthy clients while requiring specialized expertise. Estate planning services help wealthy families structure inheritance arrangements while minimizing estate taxes and ensuring smooth wealth transfer across generations. These services require sophisticated legal and tax expertise while addressing complex family dynamics and succession challenges. Philanthropic advisory services help wealthy families develop charitable giving strategies while maximizing tax advantages and social impact through sophisticated foundation structures and charitable vehicles. Philanthropic planning provides tax benefits while enhancing family reputation and social influence. Investment committee services provide wealthy families with access to Rothschild investment expertise while maintaining family control over investment decisions through advisory relationships that combine professional management with family oversight and strategic direction. Lifestyle management services address the comprehensive needs of ultra-wealthy families, including property management, security arrangements, travel coordination, and personal services that enable family members to focus on business and philanthropic activities. Contemporary Rothschild operations utilize sophisticated regulatory arbitrage strategies that optimize regulatory treatment across multiple jurisdictions while accessing favorable regulatory environments for different financial activities and investment strategies. Offshore financial center utilization provides tax optimization and regulatory advantages while maintaining privacy protection that appeals to wealthy clients seeking asset protection and confidential wealth management services. Offshore structures remain crucial for international wealth management. European Union regulatory optimization takes advantage of financial services passporting rights while accessing favorable regulatory treatment in different EU jurisdictions that provide competitive advantages for various financial activities and client services. Swiss banking relationships maintain traditional emphasis on banking secrecy and privacy protection while adapting to contemporary regulatory requirements for tax compliance and anti-money laundering that affect international private banking operations. Singapore Financial Center Development provides access to Asian wealth management markets while utilizing Singapore's favorable regulatory environment for private banking and asset management serving Asian wealthy families and international clients. Luxembourg Fund Domiciliation utilizes Luxembourg's sophisticated fund regulation and tax advantages while accessing European investment markets through one of Europe's most favorable jurisdictions for international investment fund operations.